According to an On3 report, Grant McCasland was contacted by Texas A&M for their head coaching position. Instead, he gave him a quick no. In today's video, we'll discuss the On3 report that said Grant McCasland was contacted after Coach Beard already turned them down, as well as Texas Tech is in some competition right now in terms of keeping some of their assistant coaches in terms of the high level with other high-level schools highly interested. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast, and we are officially in the dead period. What that means is, well, from now, Thursday, April 3rd, the time you're listening to this, to April 10th, there is going to be really no contact whatsoever between schools and players. That doesn't mean players cannot enter the portal, but according to the rules, there's supposed to be no contact. So we may not see a lot of movement in terms of the portal from the standpoint of Texas Tech, officially getting visits, yada, 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 all that stuff. But that's where we're at right now in Texas Tech. If you want to go look at one player that they have a visit scheduled for after the dead period, go back to the previous video here on the channel. All right, let's get right into this. And I without further ado, right, in terms of, I think Texas Tech fans are a little scarred, and I get it from the standpoint of, like, when they have a great coach, they've learned from the past in terms of, like, hey, like, we obviously want them here, but also at the same time, it's like it's real in terms of you've been hurt, right? Like, I'm right there with you. It's hard to explain in the sense of having a coach leave for another school in the state, right? It's happened before, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen now. And here we go. A source told On3 on Thursday that Texas A&M had been in contact with Texas Tech head coach Grant McCasland, but McCasland quickly said no to the Aggies. This comes after Beard's decision to stay at Ole Miss. It leaves the Aggies still in need to find their next head coach. So again, pretty cut and dry right there, right? Like, over on the Scarlet and Black Insider, there was a lot of people, in terms of, I don't want to say that they actually thought this could actually happen, but one of the deals where it's like, you're scarred, right? It's happened in the past. Maybe it happens here. But it sounds like, according to this On3 report, Grant McCasland quickly turned down even really a conversation, it seems like, with the Aggies to be their next head coach. And I will say this, from the McCasland standpoint, it would not shock me if he used this as leverage, right? And what do I mean by that? It would not surprise me if you see an extension for Grant McCasland here in the not-too-distant future announced for Texas Tech men's basketball, making him one of the highest-paid coaches in America, right? But it's not just from his own salary standpoint that I think he used this as leverage. I think he also used it in the sense of, like, getting more money for his assistants. And then also, maybe the most important aspect of all in modern college basketball, more NIL, right? That's something that is pivotal to really any team's success in modern college basketball. And now, this is me obviously projecting a little bit and thinking out loud. This has obviously not been confirmed, but I don't think it's a stretch to think those things in terms of thinking like, okay, get your bag, Grant. You obviously deserve it. What you have done at Texas Tech in 2 seasons is mightily impressive considering what went down the year prior to your arrival. Then make sure you take care of your own. Make sure that your assistants get money that they deserve and make sure they get a little bit more for their families, right? And then third, make sure the players get a little bit more, right? Make sure that war chest and riches that you have in terms of NIL can go out and make sure you can put the best roster together as possible. So I think that that's where we're at. It's obviously an encouraging sign. The On3 report saying Grant McCasland quickly tells Texas A&M no. I mean, and I don't even feel bad for the Aggies at this point. I really don't. But hey, Texas Tech has their guy. I would not be shocked if in the near future we hear about a Grant McCasland extension at Texas Tech after this On3 report says that he quickly told the Aggies no in terms of interest for their head coaching job. All right, before we get into other schools interested in Texas Tech assistant coaches, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Appreciate y'all making this one of the most successful months in this channel's history. It really, truly means a lot. If you want to join the Back to 12 squad, those are the simple steps to do so. It's 100% free. We're covering everything on the hardwood, the gridiron, and both the portal for football and men's basketball. So join the largest group of Texas Tech fans today here on the Back to 12 podcast. And hey, join the fun. It's a lot of fun here. All right. We know that Texas Tech has already lost one assistant in this cycle in terms of the coaching cycle. That's Matt Brower. He has been formally introduced down at SFA as their head basketball coach. Congratulations to him. One of the nicest guys that I've had the pleasure of speaking to in the industry. He is phenomenal and a great hire for the team down there in Nacogdoches. So you lose one, you're going to have to replace him in some capacity, right? Whether that's elevating somebody on the staff or going out and getting someone else. But I think it's interesting because when you have success at a school like Grant McCasland has had very quickly, I might add, again, only 2 years at Texas Tech, and he's been to the tournament twice, and then obviously the Elite Eight this past season. Schools are going to take notice. Other schools are going to want a piece of that success. And one of the easiest ways to do so is the coaching staff. And Texas Tech has two highly coveted guys right now in terms of large institutions elsewhere across the country. We'll start with AC. AC is a guy that is one of the best in terms of assistant coaches from the standpoint of recruiting and honestly just being part of a winning program, right? Like, everywhere he's been, he's won. He's kind of like McCasland in that regard. And obviously he's been with McCasland at previous stops, but AC just gets the damn job done. And a lot of coaches simply just don't do that, right? So he's highly coveted. He's going to be one of those guys where don't be surprised if you hear a Big Ten school with his Midwest roots and everything that he's done. He's coached high school up in Kansas. He's, had some time out in Arizona as well. Like, obviously not the Midwest there, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he's very well respected across the country in college basketball. It would not shock me if you hear a Big Ten school interested in him in the coming weeks. Also, Buff, one of the best GMs in college basketball. You're going to have to, really try and up the ante for him probably to stay. He's got connections with vast programs, most notably Jay Lucas down at Miami. Don't be surprised if you hear some buzz around that. I hope that Texas Tech can keep him, but Buff is one of the most highly respected guys in the industry when it comes down to it. So again, back to the Grant McCasland aspect of this, I think it's pivotal that Grant McCasland used the Aggies as leverage to get, again, more money for himself, but also for his assistant pool. So he can go out and say, hey, AC, here's the number. We can match it and then some compared to these other schools. Buff, hey, here's the number we've got in NIL, and oh, by the way, we'll up your salary as well because you put together a great roster for us and you helped lead the charge in that regard. That's what's going to have to happen if you're Texas Tech, and I think that that's where they're at. But there's going to be a lot of moving pieces for Texas Tech when it comes to the coaching staff, most notably having an assistant spot open. Do you elevate a guy like Luke Barnwell to that Matt Brower spot? Do you go out and add somebody else? I think it'll be very interesting to watch, but again, the big news for Texas Tech today, according to On3, I believe it was Pete Nakos, he said in his report, we'll actually put it on the screen for you real quick one more time. There it is. A source told On3 on Thursday afternoon that Texas A&M had been in contact with Texas Tech head coach Grant McCasland, but he had quickly said no. Again, this after Beard already shot down the Aggies to stay at Ole Miss. Again, I don't know where the Aggies go, and frankly, I don't give a damn. As long as Grant McCasland is the head coach of Texas Tech, you're in a great spot, and I would expect Texas Tech to really up the ante a little bit in terms of the financial aspect here in the not-too-distant future, but we'll wait and see how that goes. But right now, again, pretty good day to be a Red Raider. That was shot down relatively quickly. Again, there's some scars from the past there. I understand, Red Raider Nation, but it looks like Grant McCasland is here to stay out in the 806. All right. That's going to do it for today's video. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, one more time, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech men's basketball all year long, whether it's on the hardwood or in the portal. We've got you covered 100% free on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, almost 11,900 strong. Basically, let's just round up, almost 12,000 strong. Join today. Tell your friends about us. It's 100% free. Can't hurt. Right? It can't hurt at all. As always, I'm RC Maxfield. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Be safe and Wreck 'em Tech.